Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone. Today we'll be talking about Solana. Can we dive into the project and what is Solana, Boris?
Yeah, Solana, it's layer one blockchain. Some people call it the Ethereum killer, and the main reason was because it's faster and the fees are much lower. It does, of course, smart contracts and decentralized applications. It's been used a lot for NFT because, of course, the minting costs were much lower. Sol, SOL, is the native token. It's mainly good for staking and delegating to secure the network, as well as to pay for transaction fees.
Thank you, Boris. What about the history and performance of the coin?
So it was basically created back in 2017 by Anatoly Yakovenko, and it's a decentralized network of nodes with high performance. That's what Solana is trying to be. Now, there are two parts to it. There is the Solana Labs, which is the core contributor, and then you have the support being provided by the Solana Foundation, which is based in Switzerland. Now, Solana Labs, they received funds in 2018 and they raised privately $20 million in a Series A. And also, after the mainnet was launched back in March 2020, they raised an additional 1.76 million in public token sales. Now, one thing that sets them apart from most of the others, like Solana, like Ethereum or let's say Cardano, etc., is Solana uses a proof of history consensus mechanism alongside the proof of stake, to achieve faster consensus. So it's kind of a mix, and they use the proof of history because it creates a historical record of activity based on the different positions in the blockchain represented by a hash tree. So they do it slightly differently than most of the other L1s, which most of the other L1s are just pure proof of stake. They introduced a new validator client to reduce the likelihood of network bugs. They are supported by some of the big companies like Google, Stripe, Discord, and also they're making the dApps more mobile friendly using Solana Mobile Stack. Also, very important note, as of yesterday, May 8th, you can start buying the new Solana phone called Saga. And that phone aims at being both your regular smartphone with the regular applications, and of course it's running on Android, as well as being your wallet, your Web3 wallet, very secured, fingerprint reader integrated, etc., etc., and make sure it's highly secured. Security is the most important thing on that phone, and that basically it's so secure that it can hold all your wallets, so acts a little bit like a ledger. So that's what the new Solana phone is supposed to be. Next thing is the tokenomics of Solana. First of all, of course, all exchanges pretty much have it by now, from Binance, Gate.io, everybody. I mean, all the centralized ones. Now, decentralized, a little bit, less common, but still you can find it on some of them. The all-time high was almost $260 back in November 2021. The all-time low was 50 cents. That was back in May 11th, 2020. So in a matter of a year and a half, roughly, it went from 50 cents to $260. So that is more than 500x in just a year and a half. So pretty good number. Currently, it's sitting around $21. And it has made a recovery, especially since December 2022 last year, where it had dropped down to $8. So it's recovered quite a bit, and all that was due to the FTX. They were very close to FTX. FTX was pumping Solana at some point, so of course FTX being gone, that hurt Solana quite a bit. But currently their market cap is $8.6 billion. They have a total supply of 546 million tokens. 394 million is the circulating supply. Now the downside is there is no max supply. So never great to see a max supply that's basically infinite.
Thank you, Boris. What about the Unchained Data, and how does it compare to Ethereum?
It's pretty interesting because on their real volume, they're neck to neck. I mean, they're virtually equal on their numbers. Now, when you look at the market cap dominance, Solana went up 9%, more than 9%, where Ethereum only went up 3%, a little bit over 3% in a matter of 1 month. Also, what's important is to see that they have rebounded quite a bit, 118% quarter over quarter. Their revenue has gone up almost 69%, especially with the fact that their fees, the priority fees, is getting great adoption. They are doing lots of staking. We see the staking going up. We see the average number of validators going up, so even more decentralized than they were before. It's up almost 19%. And shortly after the release of version 1.14 on February 21, they experienced an outage, which that is one thing that Solana is a little too well known for, is they've had several outages over the past year and a half. I think we are pretty much around number 7, 8 outages that have been really, from a few hours to almost a few days. So they've had some difficulties. They also said that, of course, they're trying to do so many transactions and so fast and everything that sometimes that's the problem, with, trying to make the machine go so fast that sometimes it can break down. But they're trying to work on improving their upgrade process. So they're not guaranteeing that there won't be any more downtimes, but they're saying that they're going to try to get better at avoiding those things. And last is the Grizzlython, which was the largest hackathon in Solana history that they did recently. And that's great, to have those programmers working all together and trying to make the product better. So they're trying to, overall, they understand they have to work at getting better with the product side.
Thank you, Boris. What about the latest news and what's in the future roadmap for Solana?
All right. So on the latest news, they are, doing more and more projects. Some people said with FTX, it's the end of Solana, it will go away, etc., etc. And it's not true, because lately they were one of those projects with Algorand and Polygon that actually saw some good inflows into into the projects. So people getting back into investing, especially with everything that's going on with the Fed and everything that was happening in the whole market, we see some good inflow in Solana, Algorand, and Polygon. So that's a good sign. Also, very important, the number of transactions and the money being traded, in the chain, on on-chain, is getting back to the levels that were pre-collapse of FTX, which we all know by now that FTX was responsible for pumping Solana. So now with FTX pretty much gone, that's good to see that the numbers are returning to what they were pre-FTX collapse. So trades worth of $5.57 billion, settled on chain since the beginning of 2023, compared to the 4.54 billion, so slightly less, in the 4 months before the collapse of FTX. So that's really great. Also, the number of users still very high. I mean, it's not completely back to what it was. The average daily users is hovering around 100,000 users, where the average before the collapse was more along the lines of 200,000, but those are still very, very high number. We can't exactly say that the chain is being abandoned when you see this kind of activity. So things are definitely, getting back to what they were before the collapse. Some of it back as far as the number of how much is being traded. On the number of users, we're still below, but things are getting back. So to me, it really indicates, and I could be wrong, but it really indicates that Solana is still very, very strong. And even though FTX is gone, and even though they had some outages and some people say like, oh, it's all dead, people are moving on. Actually, there's still a lot of stuff going on Solana, and I think it's going to be one of those that's still going to perform very, very well during the coming bull run. So on the NFT side, they also doing some contests to try to promote and try to attract creators to develop their NFT collections on Solana. So we'll see what this does, but it's interesting. In early June, they're going to be doing this competition. So they're trying to expand the ecosystem, and also to englobe, fashion, entertainment, and gaming as well.
Thank you, Boris. What about staking Solana? Do you have any recommendations on this?
Yeah, so always, as a very bad idea, you can stake it on centralized exchanges, obviously. So don't do it. That's definitely not the way to do it. Very simply, you can do it through most wallets, from Exodus to Atomic to Trust Wallet. They pretty much all offer Solana, where you can stake directly the coins in those wallets. You can also do some liquid staking, via a staking pool. But really the easiest one is to use just the wallets. They will offer you on average 5.5 to 7%, roughly. It's paid every few days. So that's what's great with Solana. Every few days you'll see your number of coins go up, using the APY. And the other cool thing, it's pretty easy to unstake and pretty quick, usually about 2 to 4 days before you can unstake.
Thank you, Boris. What about the price prediction? Do you really see this hitting a 16x by 2030?
Yeah, we can probably get back to 48, 50 by next year. So a little bit more than double by 2024. By 2026, we should be along the lines of about 100. and then doubling again by 2028, getting back close to the all-time high. That's probably what's going to happen. And then by 2030, we should be passing and getting around the, on average, let's say 370 to 450, which will give you 16x and more, with, once again, an ecosystem that's pretty well developed. So the thing about some of the others, like Optimism or Arbitrum, or first of all, they're more like layer 2s, but second of all, some of those new blockchains or layer 2s that are coming out that people say, oh yeah, this is great, this is going to be the next big one or whatever. I mean, anything is always possible, but some of them, they haven't had the adoption that a Solana has, as far as the number of users, the number of wallet addresses, the number of dApps developed on the blockchain. So at least to me, with Solana, there are better chances of getting really mass adoption and really taking off, because if all you have is a few hundred or a few thousand users versus one chain that has a lot more, that has over 100,000 daily users, that offers more and better possibilities. Now, of course, some predictions of Solana out there are even higher, but I think that those are conservative numbers, as we like to do on this channel, so that at least we don't go too crazy on what it could be. So that's it for today. Thank you, Colton.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And we look forward to see you on the next Crypto Night video. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.